Hello everyone. Today our mission is to make a little heart like this. This is our project for today. Very nice. And I will show you from the first steps how to make your little heart, and then we will continue to the painting. What I'm going to use is this canvas board, but as you can see there's a little mark down here. But I will do something and put a lot of paint over that, because when I opened it up, it's a product of this Koki A4 canvas panel. You see this Koki manufacturers, and all of the canvases that I bought from them, they put this in the corner, and for some reason at the back they put a little bit of glue there to stick this thing on it. So, but I sure definitely will contact them and tell them about it, because now you sit with that and you can't get the glue off. If you try and get it off with a knife or something, then you damage your board. So this is for my tutorial, and that's why I will use this board, but keep in mind that you must look out for something like that. And if it keeps on happening with me with this canvas boards, then I won't definitely will not buy it again. So this is the board that I'm going to use. It's now only white, but I will finish that and I will show you the background. So this, I will just put it at the back there as a reference for me. Okay, there it is, and we will start with the background. And as you can see, I've got some paint already put out on a little plate of mine. This is the colors that I use for the background. I already know I will have this one also. It's a little, it's just off-white, kind of a cream color, and this is the Dala paint, but I don't care which one I take. That's Heritage is the one that I always use, but Dala is also very good. And then I use this a big pot, because it's only for backgrounds that I use this. So I'm going to use this and mix it with the other colors to get that finish at the end of the day. So let's start with that. I will zoom in a little bit for you guys so that you can see. I think that will be better, so then you can see what I do. Let me just put this a little bit at the back. There you are. I use a big brush just because I know it's the background and I want to quickly cover all of this. And oops, let me just put some paper here at the, I don't want it. There you are. And you can just, oh look at that. Let me just clean up there. Okay. Because I know it's the background, I'm going to put a lot of paint on. Not a lot, but real thick. Any direction, just to cover the board first. I try and work as fast as I can for the background, because I know I want to add some of the other colors just to make it a bit interesting, and so it can mix in and blend together very nicely. That's why I don't put on only a few of this. I want enough on so that it can stay wet. And then I will bring in some of the other colors that I already put on the plate. As long as you cover everything, and our little blobs here at the bottom, I will cover that up. Right. If you do it in all directions, it doesn't matter if it makes a little bit of streaks. At the end of the project, you will see it will look a little bit like some movement, if you want to say, kind of a movement that you put in there, né? I know I'm going to make that little heart that you saw, so I will take a bit of the blue and just mix it in at the back. Can you see I do it different ways, and I actually don't mind some of the brush strokes. There I want a little bit of blue. If it's maybe too blue for you, let me put in a bit of white, a little bit more. That's better. Then it's not too much. On the outside I can use a little bit more blue, but then I will stay on the outside so that it can almost kind of give us a little bit of frame for the inside. A darker color. I will just put a little bit on this side. I don't want too much blue on this side, but I just want to bring that also in the picture. Just even it out a little bit if you put some blue there also. And a little bit of that one just to cover it up. You can do whatever you want so that you can mix it up and then it looks nice. On the top right hand side I want to bring in a little bit of my yellow. I did not wash my brush, I did not rinse it, because I want all the colors to flow in the one with the other one. I think I will bring in a little bit more of that color back in here, your background color. Actually the color of the board, it's not the background color. It's actually supposed to be look like the board was that color in the first place. And white in the middle, because then it will keep on bringing your eyes to the middle. This brush I'm going to use it just for the sake of blending in. I will wetten it first a little bit with clean water. I do have a paper towel on my right hand side so that I can just very softly blend this, very softly, just to blend it in a little bit more. If you need a little bit more water, then do so. This is, and I touch almost, it's just a little bit that you touch at the background. Usually I like to leave a little bit of the streaks that I make, the brush strokes, so that it can look like a little bit of movement in your picture. Can you see I do it on purpose, that brush strokes there? Right. This is a little bit more darker than the other, the preview that I showed you that we actually want to make, but we don't mind. It's your own project and you can do the background the way that you want. This will also look beautiful at the end of the day if you change this whole picture to a black background and you make it with some white flowers on it. But today is not for black background. A little bit more yellow, and then just to get ourselves a balance, just a little bit of yellow in here, just a little bit, because that is the main area that you want more solid yellow, and the blue was that main area, but we bring a little bit in also here. Okay, and some of it will be covered up because obviously we're going to now paint over it with our little heart that we're going to do. And you can even do this kind of thing on a card, you know, like a greeting card or something that you want to make for someone. And you can do any shape, you don't have to do the heart, but we will do that In the meantime, I just want to let this dry off. I don't want that to mix in with the heart when we start. So I will zoom in enough so that you can see my... okay, that will be enough. Let me just move this a little bit. And then we will let it dry. And when it's dry, I will go back and then I will do the heart. In the meantime, I will put my board aside and show you how I make the heart if you don't have a sample heart shape. I will take a paper like this, a normal A4, because I know my picture is A4, and then I will fold it in half like this. And then you can just draw yourself a heart. Of course, you know this is the canvas size. Then you can see how big you want it. Let's say from there to there. Okay, maybe make it a little bit more round. Like that's it, that's better. I want it maybe a little bit more fat and not a skinny one. I think that will make a nice heart. You can always change your mind while you're painting. And easy as that, you will just cut out for yourself a little heart. You don't even have to do it this way. There you go. But if it's working, then you've got a template for yourself. Then you've got a template for yourself that you can put on anything else. But I think it must be a little more round here. Definitely. So let me see. Maybe a little bit like this. Maybe a little bit more like this. Yes, I think that will work better. I don't like the skinny one. If you also got a heart or something somewhere that you don't want to cut like I do now, then you can always just take some tracing paper. Usually I use the dressmaker tracing paper because that don't mix with your paints. That's why I always use the dressmaker tracing paper if I need to do something. Let's see this one now. Okay, almost. I just want to make it a little bit, so you can just go the way that you want your little heart to be. Yes, that's better. I like this one. That's it. So that will be our heart that we're going to use on that. Okay, let's see if the board is dry. I will then put the heart on. Okay, I'm back and the background is dry enough for me to work. I don't think it's completely dry, but I think it will be enough for us to keep on going. I think our background looks brilliant. So here is our heart, and I will just put it somewhere I want. Maybe in the middle. I will check the sides and a little from the top. I don't have to be exactly in the middle like this, and I will do just a little soft mark with my pencil. I don't even have to draw the whole thing. It's just for a guideline. Obviously, if you can draw art nicely by yourself, you don't have to make yourself a template. Okay, it's on there, and now we can start with the paint. Firstly, I want to emphasize this hard, but I'm not going to do it in a line. I will use one of the brushes. I will see which one now. I will use that and make little streaks around it with brown and with a green, so that it can look like stems and things, because I'm going to do some flowers with some leaves and things. So I think I will first start with that, because when I start to paint, I do my background. Then afterwards I start with the thing that is more in the back and build it up to the front, like the flowers and the leaves, the one on top of each other, so that it gives you a little bit of depth in your pictures. So now I will start with my green first. There's no particular reason why I, in the first place, use this as blue and this is yellow. You can do any color that you want, and the flowers you can make any color. It doesn't really matter which one you use. Okay, I start there, and some light streaks. I don't care what it looks like, because it will look like little, even like some tweaks, or but it will be in the form of the heart. And not one of my images, doesn't matter if I work from a sample or I do have a sample, look the same. None of them look the same. It will never come out the same. It can be if you really try. So let me do it this way and this way, so that it can cross there with my brown, just to fill up our heart. This is just to give it a little bit of more closure, to show that it is a heart, the shape. And you can see I just work very light with my brush. Doesn't matter which brush, but it must be a round point. And I'm not here to advertise any products or anything, so use whatever you've got. Okay, now we've got the outline of a heart, and now we can start with the next step, because that is, I think, finished for now. You can go on with other colors if you want, but I don't want to make it too busy. So now I will start with the next one. Let's look at the sample picture again. Okay, like you can say, this purple flowers is at the back than this one's. So I will firstly do this, the purple flowers. I will use some, it's kind of a blue, purple, what color, and combine it with white to get this kind of effect that I do, and I will show you now. So let me put this just aside. And then, can you see this brush? It's just a kind of a hard, scruffy brush that I'm going to use for this. And there's no particular way that I'm going to do it. It's just going to be bubbles like this all over. So what I will do is I will use my blue, the same blue that I used at the background, but this is the solid color. I don't mix it with the white except for on my brush now. So I'll just dip it in like this. Can you see that? And then it will make little thingies, little petals. And I will take some of the white and do that in between. That is the process that I'm going to follow there. Okay? Exactly what I'm doing here. So let me load my brush with the blue and a little bit of white, and let's start with it. Okay, I will start with a narrow kind of a blue here, not too much, because our heart must have a it must have a inside there kind of a way. And then every time I load my brush, I do it the same. A little bit of the blue, and when I go to the bottom, closer to the bottom, I'm going to tilt my brush a little bit to the side. Only for the reason because I want it not to be all the same, and I will give it a little bit of, let's say the flowers is hanging like this. Like this. I think that looks pretty nice. And you can fill it up as much as you like, but I think for this one that looks nice as it is. And a little bit of white. We're going to do that one. Start very thin and work it out to that. Sorry for that shadow, but my light is not the best there is. And I'm not sure if the rain, if you can hear that. It's raining for quite some time now. I think it's about 9-10 days that it's raining. Very nice rain that we get. I think this looks nice. I just want to put a little bit more of blue in. And I want to end it almost at the same. It doesn't matter, you don't have to be. It's your picture. As long as you enjoy what you're making, then that's what matters. Okay, now you can see we've got our blue around. So I will wash this and let that dry a little bit because I think I'm happy with that. And you see what the white is doing? It gives it a little bit of highlight. So you can use any color. If it's not a blue that you use and you use something else, then just accordingly you go with the color to that. So that I mentioned, it's acrylic paint. I use the acrylics and it's not oils. I suppose you can do it with oil. This kind of flowers that we do here is something totally different than this thing that looks like this. You see? This is another style that we also will cover. But this is not the same than this one. This is something totally different that we're doing today. And I do actually a kind of a combination. While I'm talking, I wait for the paint to dry a little bit. I do a combination of this kind of flower that is from the Bauer Malerei, the art, this kind of artwork, but this is only a few rose buds that I've done. So there's actually a whole story around it, and then I combine it with a one-stroke kind of paint technique. And I think that is what makes you special, and you can start and get an idea what you want to do. So I will come back as soon as that is dry. I can see it's still a bit shiny, so it's not completely dry, but I think it looks very, very beautiful. I think I can bring it up a little bit for you to see. Can you see? I think it looks very nice. I think that flowers came out beautiful. That's better. So let it dry a bit, and then we will start with the main flowers, our little rose buds. Okay, so I'm going to use two brushes, number 2 and a number 4. The 2 is the smaller one, that is for a smaller rose, and the number 4 is for the bigger one. I want one big one just to stand out, and then the other ones I will do with the small one because it's only actually more buds than it is you know, like a full flower. And remember, this is not a rose study art, it's just a painting, so feel free to use it, you know, with a free hand, and don't be so stiff. Whatever comes out will work. So what I will do is, to get that effect, I will use the red and the white. I put some clean white in here for me for the roses. I will only dip in half of the brush in the red and other half white. That is every time I pick up paint, this is what I will do. Okay, the inside of my flower will be the red and the outside will be the white, and you can use any color, or you can do it vice versa if you want it the other way around. But I will put my tray there, but this is what I'm going to do with every time that I'm going to pick up some paint. This is what I'm going to do. So I will start there. I want a big flower there, and I need to put my hand down. That's why I waited for the paint to dry first. I can see it's still a little bit wet there, so I hope I don't mess it up. Otherwise then I will just stop again, but I will make my big flower there. Let me put my hand there in between. You put it straight up. It must make a V like that when you're finished, okay? So I put it down, and in one stroke turn it around and lift up. I hope you've seen that nicely. I take a little bit of red again, a little bit of white. The whole time that's what I'm going to do. Now I'm going to close that rosebud. I think I will zoom in a little bit closer so that you can see that rose. Okay, let's see if this will work better for you to see. Now I'm going to just end it off to close that rosebud. This will be the bigger rose. I start there, put my brush down and around, lift it up. Okay, I take a little bit of red, a little bit of white, one of these side flowers like that, and like I said, it doesn't matter the way it comes out, it's your flower. It will look like a flower eventually. And then on this side there's a new leaf. That's it. Red, white on my brush. Make an extra petal there. Red and a bit of white. Sometimes I mix my paints too much on the plate, and then I have to make, take a little bit of new ones. So if you're happy with that, then it's fine. I will show you with that just now. I just want to show you another one of the roses here. Let's put him over there. I hope it's not too dark because I see a lot of shadow. Can you see that? Let me just clean my brush and do that one over. Take red and take the white, and let's do it again because I want a nice white for this one. Nice white, you can always do it over. Nobody says you can't do it over. Like that. Take a little bit of red and your white. Now close it up. That's it. Another one. Just close to that one, because I want this flower a little bit more closed, like that. Now I want to make a big one on that side. That will be the only big ones that I make, okay? And then I will change to a smaller brush because the other ones will only be rosebuds. Let me see if I've got enough white on here. I think so. Let's make a bigger one there. It doesn't have to be in the same place, nothing, because that's not nature. So you can go like a wild with this thingies. Can you see this kind of effect that I do? Just turn it around. White, and then some white. Close it up again. Like that. Red. White. Let me get a little bit more white, that's it. For this side one, I will start a little bit on top of that. Because this is decoration purposes only, so you don't even have to worry about what it looks like. And another flower leaf on this side, a petal there. And you could go on and on and on with this, the way that you want your flower to look like. And then let me just clean my brush a bit because the paint is packing up and up. You know, it's sticking on it the whole time. I want to take my any round brush with white and just make that circle around there, just to finish it off. and another one there. So you can patch it up if you need a little bit more white. I like a lot of white in my pictures. And that one I want a little bit more white there. I can put a little. I like to leave a little bit of a drop at the starting point. Like that. And then change off with this flower, the leaf there. That's the way that you can just form your roses, and you can go on with the amount of petals that you want. And you can even put some dots inside if you want to see inside your flower. Right, this is with the big brush that I've done now. Now I will change to my smaller brush that I've got. Again, a flat brush, the flat brush we're going to use. The bigger one is in my water now. And this one is a little bit more stiff. I will see if that will work. I will put another one here and here. Maybe that will be too much. Let me see. And I want one hanging off. This one will only be a rosebud. Let's do it here. A bit like this and around. And then it forms a very nice inside for your flower. And just close it up like that. And maybe just one more leaf. Okay, so for my leaves I use a green and a yellow. I will use that together, the green and the yellow. Okay, and the same thing, one side green, one side yellow. Okay, I will put it this way because it's just the way I remember to do the bottom at this with the green, and then I pick up a bit of yellow. It's just to give it a little bit of difference in the leaf itself. And you can take any kind of leaf that you want. And we will do firstly at the bottom of our flowers, so that we can give it a little bit of a base where it can anchor on. Just want to place this where you can see it. Okay. And you can do a curly leaf or any kind of leaf that you want. Just, can you see that? If the green and the yellow mix, then it looks very nice. And even your leaves doesn't have to make really sense. Since it's art, you can do whatever you want. This leaf I will start there. Put a little bit of more yellow on this side. It's just to close off the roses, to give you a little bit of a stem. We will do some more, but with a round brush, some circles and swirls and thingies there with the green, so that it can look like leaves going through this whole vine kind of thing. Just something like this. Okay, that looks nice. And a little swirl like this. why not give it a little bit of a oomph in it. And then this side, I hope I stay in the camera the whole time. And the small, because that's a small rosy there. And this one on that side. So now the first thing is I take a round brush this time and not my flat brush, because I want to do a little bit of stems that's coming out there just to anchor it. And I use the green, and I pick up anyway a little bit, even if it's a round brush, I will pick up a little bit of green and a yellow bit of the yellow. Just take it out from there and follow the sequence that's our heart is going, né? The form of the heart, just follow the form of the heart and start this one out and go there. And this one we can start there. I hope you can see that one. Yes, I'm still in the frame. I will start this one out there and take it that way. And you can see it's on top of the blue flowers. Let me just get more green on the blue flowers, but it's going entwined in, you know, the one in the other end, like that. And you can see how the two colors that you mix make it very nice. And we've got one there and the other one on this side here. So we will have two stems there. Now you can decide what you want to do. Do you want to curve it in? Do you curve it out? Because it's moss going down. So let's do this one on the outside. Just to give it also a place to anchor it. See, just make a nice little curve like that. And the way that it comes out, that's the way that it is. So, I think that looks quite nice. I think you will agree that looks nice. So now we will put in bigger leaves. I will use the flat brush again, the number 2, because I don't want it too big and overwhelming. Then, let me just turn it just so that it's nice for my hand. Pick up the green and the yellow again, because all my leaves I will make green and yellow. Sometimes you can add a little bit of that brownish color that we used here, but I love the green and the yellow. It just makes sense for me. So you can decide where you want your flowers and the way that you want to do it. If you're not sure what it will look like when you begin, do it on the outside on a little piece of paper and, you know, test it there first. So let's make a flower, a leaf on this side. I just want to press my hand on this flower here, but I need to put my hand down. So let's do it this way. Let's make one like this. Can you see my wiggle waggle kind of way, and then I end with a kind of a stroke there, so that my yellow is still outside. Let me get my blue again. Once we finish with the leaves, I just want to fill it up. Remember our scruffy brush? We just want to fill up some places there with the flower, our blue flowers at the back. We just want to fill it up quickly. Just a bit of blue. Let me just get that, and white. Just to fill it up at the... Can you see what I do? I just want to try and cover up some of the leaves so that it's not all in the place. That's it. Cover it up a little bit. Bit of white. I don't want to cover that up, it looks nice. This one maybe I can put a little bit there, just over the bottom side of that leaves, so that the leaves come out of it. And maybe this one here. No, we can't put it there. Just want to put this out here. On, so that can be in front. So it must look like this purple flower is going over that. I want to show you that with a clean black, clean blue. That's a little bit, not with too much white. Clean blue, just a bit of white. You can go on with this. Now it looks like it's more in front than the flowers, and the purple is going behind this flower. If you don't have a very nice flower, then you can always put some purple over it. Oh, the blue, purple, the color that you've got. I don't know why I think it's purple. And a bit of white there. Okay, I think this looks not too bad. I think I must use some of this. Let's try something. I hope I don't mess this up now, but I want to put some white. I don't take the clean white, I've got white that's now mixed with red and blue and everything. But I'm going to use that last piece and just put a base for this leaf also. And let's do it on this side also. About there. Just a bit of white there. I think that's nice. I will clean my brush, this scruffy brush, and just take a bit of green and yellow. I want more yellow. A little bit of green, and then I will just go this way for this leaf, softly, so that this can go down, because then it follows the heart shape. I think that will do the thing. Now that's left is a little bow. We will try, you can stop here and finish it off and say it's finished if you think it's enough for you. Let me go out and you can see the whole thingy. can stop like this. Otherwise, you can do and try and make a little bow like this. So let's try and do it anyway. Okay, my bow will be a little bit of with this red color, red and pink, whatever, because I put the white in. And whatever I'm going to pick up now, I will have to do it exactly the same, so that it can look like a little bow. I hope so anyway. Let's try it. There's one side. Now let me get some more white. Yes, like this. Oops. And go down there. Either you stop there, or you can make another loop if you want more loops. If you want maybe something more bigger than that, go on with this bottom piece and just do something swirly. It doesn't matter what you do there. With the red and enough white to give it a little bit of separation of color. Yes. Okay, so there you can see that whole thing. Your picture is now complete and it looks very nice. You can first try a few different flowers, different effects, make a different kind of bow, it doesn't matter. But this is a nice thing that you can do on a greeting card or something, or just put up and it will look very nicely. And thank you for watching.